We are all evangelized, and we are all evangelizers. And the church exists to continue the mission of Jesus to evangelize. What does evangelization tell us in relation to COVID-19? With this worldwide pandemic that is making people afraid, anxious, and even sad, what does evangelization and COVID-19 have to teach us? When something monumental, when something extraordinary happens to us, we return to where we began. We return to the basics. Kapag yung mga ibon nasasaktan ng kanilang pakpak, babalik sa kanilang pugad. Yung mga pawikan nasasaktan sa dagat, babalik kung saan sila ipinanganak. Tayo, kapag tayo nasasaktan, tatawag tayo, "Nanay, tulungan niyo ko." At kung malalaki na, babalik tayo kung saan tayo nagsimula. So, let us return to the basics. Let us allow COVID-19 to teach us again the basics, the requirements, the message for evangelization. There are 4 last things. The first of the last things is death. When we were born with a sister twin, and that sister twin is called Sister Death. Coronavirus has made death a strong reality for us. Marami na pong namatay, at marami pa sigurong mamamatay, sana huwag na. Maraming may sakit. But sickness makes us remember our death. And we all will die. We need to be reminded. Minsan nabubuhay tayong parang hindi na tayo mamamatay, parang wala nang katapusan. Evangelization is not just telling the good news. Evangelization is telling us that we will die, but we are not afraid to die because Jesus has died for us, and Jesus has taken away the pangs of death, the pain of death, and has given us the promise of life everlasting. Nakakatakot mamatay? Nakakatakot. Subalit, ang Kristiyano na nakatanggap na ng mabuting balita ay handang harapin ang kamatayan sapagkat alam ng bawat Kristiyano, in life, it is the Lord, and in death, it is the Lord who accompanies me. And God has died to give meaning and purpose to my death. Ang pangalawa ay judgment. We will all face the judgment seat of God. My dear brothers and sisters, the justice of this world is topsy-turvy, upside down, and corrupt. We can lie, we can create more lies, and we can accuse one another falsely. But the last judgment tells us that before the judge with a capital J, we cannot hide anything. Mayroon po tayong pagtutuos. At sa lahat ng namumuhay sa kasalanan ngayon, sa lahat ng aapi sa kanilang kapwa-tao, sa lahat ng gumagawa ng kasinungalingan, sa lahat ng nambabastos, sa lahat ng pumapatay, tandaan po ninyo, mayroong judgment at alam ng Diyos ang lahat ng ating ginagawa, ang lahat ng ating iniisip, at ang lahat ng ating sinasabi. There will be a final exam, and we will submit everything to God, who knows everything. We will look forward to the judgment, hopefully living in truth, hopefully having followed the will of God. But there is judgment. Huwag na huwag kayong mag-iisip na makakalusot sapagkat alam na alam ng Diyos ang lahat ng ating isip, ang lahat ng ating salita, ang lahat ng ating ginagawa. The new evangelization invites us to look at death with a new perspective, to look at judgment with a different perspective, that one day all the lies will come to an end, all the murders will come to an end, and all the vulgarity will come to an end, and we will all face the judgment seat of God. The third of the last things is hell. Hell is real. Totoo po. At tayo ay pupunta sa impyerno kapag tayo ay patuloy na humiwalay sa pag-ibig ng Diyos. Sabi po ni San Agustin, God created hell out of love for us, so that we, out of fear of hell, will not fall into sin. Kung hindi sapat ang pag-ibig sa Diyos para ikay magpakabuti, magpakabanal at sumunod sa mga utos ng Diyos, siguro yung takot na maparusahan sa impyerno, ito ay magiging magandang dahilan upang magpakabuti at ipatino ang ating buhay. Hell is real. It is eternal damnation. It is eternal trouble. It is the absence of peace. It is suffering without any hope because we have turned away from the Lord. But the fourth of the last things is heaven. Heaven. The doors of heaven have been opened for us because Jesus died and rose again and ascended into heaven and sent us the Holy Spirit. If hell is real, heaven is also real. And the will of God for us is that we all go to heaven because we are only transients here on earth. We are only passing through this earth because our real home is heaven. Our address is not what the civil registrar or the COMELEC has in our records. Our real address is heaven because our real house is the Father's house. And heaven is real. Heaven is beauty. Heaven is peace. Heaven is the Lord. It is the Lord, and we will see Him face to face, and we will see Him forever and ever. My dear brothers and sisters, the new evangelization teaches us to revisit the teachings about death, about judgment, about hell, about heaven. It is good to go down to the basics because we have forgotten many things. We have compromised many things. We have covered up many things. Now that we have been stripped of our defenses, that the pretenses have been removed, let us return to the basic tenets of our faith. It is evangelization to talk about death, but death that has been conquered by Jesus. It is evangelization to talk about judgment and to say that truth will always prevail, not lies, not sin, not criminality. That even if criminals and sinners hide from the pangs of justice, we cannot hide from the judgment seat of the Lord. When we proclaim hell, it is still evangelization because the fear of hell can hopefully lead us to become holier. And heaven is evangelization because it is what everybody longs for. COVID-19 has challenged us to return to the basics. Someday, COVID-19 will pass, but there will not be a time when the mission of evangelization will pass. Because for us, the Lord, for as long as the church stands, we will be an evangelizing church because we have been evangelized. Thank you for listening. Let us reach out to our brothers and sisters beside us, in front of us, behind us, and tell one another, God is love, and God has done everything to show His love for us. And because of that love, death, judgment, hell, heaven have taken on new meaning.